Happy New Year.
I got to get the credit card.
It's a casual church here. So it is so great to be with all of you on this eve before New Year's Eve day. As we close in on our theme for the year, celebrating what we started earlier this year, when two or more are gathered in thy name, we give thanks for us all being together again on this divine appointment. This is a great time of year, the time for our annual spiritual and mental housekeeping. And so I hope you all experience the birth of the Christ awareness with you at Christmas. And we know that the very awareness is there to be acknowledged every day, every moment, and if you just allow it, all the time. There's a time to release what no longer serves our higher good. Sometimes we hold on to something from our past that may hinder our spiritual growth. And often the process of cleaning out a closet or a kitchen drawer, or in my case, a house, as the reading suggests, can be a catalyst to releasing emotional blocks. So the Psalms 51:10 states, "Create in me, O Lord, a clean heart, and renew a right spirit within me." And let me say that again. "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me." So that's what we're going to do here today. So we gather together to prayerfully support each other as we release these negative and limiting thoughts and beliefs. Suzanne's phone. And we establish a new awareness of truth within ourselves. So the purpose of this time that we're going to spend together is not a memorial to the past. It is not a time for wishful thinking in the future. Rather, let this time be a time of definite work and affirmation in consciousness, a cleansing of the old and an infilling of the new through the spirit of truth. What is past is past. Live for right now. Release the old you. So we're doing a burning bowl ceremony today, as we did last year, and is done all over the world. It's not necessarily a unique ceremony for Unitics, but it is a ceremony of release, which is a sacred ritual of letting go of anything that no longer serves you. And what I really like about that is it's not releasing something that's evil, or not releasing, something that you've been dragging around, but just something that no longer serves you. If it's old and it's not fitting with you anymore, then we're going to let it go today. And so in this release, we are made whole. We are washed clean in the love and peace of spirit. And Paul said to the Romans, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." So this burning bowl ceremony builds off of ancient fire rituals that help people release old unwanted conditions, events, or limiting beliefs in their lives. It's a wonderful way of letting go and clearing the way for new beginnings. So we honor your intention today to release ideas, thoughts, and habits that no longer serve your perfect good. Across religious traditions, fire is a powerful symbol of wisdom, knowledge, passion, purification, transformation, divinity, and light. Fire inflames, it consumes, it illuminates, it inspires, and it serves as a catalyst for change. Success is not a result of spontaneous combustion. You must set yourself on fire. And so we have all these images that we work with all the time. We're all fired up. We fight fire with fire. We play with fire. we could be a ball of fire. And one of the things that came to me as I was working on this, and it's slightly tangential, but I think it works, is that Robert Frost wrote a poem on this, Fire and Ice, and he said, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to know that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. And so what I'd like you to think about today as you do your cleansing is to think about fire and ice, to think about the images that I gave you with fire. We also use ice where we're frozen out of a situation or frozen out of a family where there's some break. We break the ice to get together. We put actions and ideas on ice, which is what we're going to do today with things that you want to leave behind. We also have cold as ice, cuts no ice. We freeze up. We are frozen to the marrow, or we are skating on thin ice. And so as we look back on the last year, what do you see? What do you hold in mind and heart that has brought you goodness, or that's brought you warmth, that's brought you something that gets you all fired up? And which of those beliefs can you build upon to increase the goodness in your life, be it more love, more life, health, prosperity? Or where did you miss the mark? Where did you skate on thin ice? What could you have done a little bit better? So be kind to yourself when you think about this. We're not perfect, or maybe there's a few in here that are perfect. I'll cop to the not being perfect. But basically, what do you want to let go? What are those things that we're going to put on ice, that we're going to leave behind? Whom do you still need to forgive? It might be somebody that you've been kind of carrying around that's making life a little bit a burden, and that's somebody that we're going to basically put on ice today and move on. So we want to release old wounds. We want to release negative thoughts or negativity, unhealthy thought patterns, unfulfilled expectations, mistakes, or situations that may be holding you back from living your best life. And more importantly, what can you do now in this new year to more closely live from your divine essence, the very essence of you? Because this is your greatest treasure, what you're bringing, your spiritual life this time around, your greatest power for goodness. One of the, I have to get my little thing up here. One of the quotes that I like for this time of year is from Timothy. And it basically says, let me read it from Suzanne's phone. In a well-furnished, this is Timothy 2:20-21. In a well-furnished kitchen, there are not only crystal goblets and silver platters, but there are waste cans and compost buckets. Some containers are used to serve fine meals, others to take out the garbage. Become the kind of container that God can use to present any and every kind of gift to his guests for their blessings. So what kind of container are you this year? What kind of container are you going to take out in this next year to the world and be? Are you going to be a silver platter? I sometimes kind of feel like a compost bucket. I'm carrying good things, but nevertheless, I'm kind of carrying a lot of stuff around with me. But compost buckets are pretty helpful. We're making something else. We're making new soil with the leavings of the things that we've used for ourselves. So to make this ceremony of burning bowl most effective for you, you'll want to do three things. You are going to need to be willing to forgive yourself for your mistakes or for carrying around these, garbage ideas that aren't working anymore. You're going to forgive everyone, and you're going to tell a new story for the new year. And I wonder if you all agree with me that unless you let go of your past, there will be no mystery about your future. What do we say about doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a new result? It doesn't happen. So that's like basically having the groundhog experience again and again and again, where every day we think, well, I'd like to do something different, but we don't do anything different. And so we're basically living that same life over and over again. So I urge you to think this year, as you think about what you're leaving behind and what you want to take on to fill up your well of your spirit, is that you think about what can you contribute, what are the things that are important to you, and what would make a difference. What would be doing something different this year than what you did last year, so that we're not all reliving the Groundhog Day. So the great thing about this burning bull ceremony is that it gives us a process where we can leave behind resentment, anger, fear, guilt, insecurity, inferiority. And really, it's very exciting to think that instead we have new possibilities and new adventures. So in order to experience that healing and that wholeness, we have to basically be willing to give up certain things. We have to give up that attachment to the self that has made the mistakes, that has experienced failure, suffered illness, grew up poor, victimized. We were betrayed, rejected. We were once unpopular or wrongly accused, and we did not get the love that we felt that we deserved. So those are things that you're going to need to give up. Those are things that when we ask you to write down, those are the kinds of things that you're doing. You're making a big new start. So it should be big things that you're leaving behind. So if you want to unblock emotions, if you want to release the pain that you're feeling about any situation or anyone, if you want to gain new insight, if you want to feel lighter this year, if you want to be open to more intimate relationships, you want to feel compassion, feel secure, achieve peace of mind, have more happiness, or begin again, or check all, then we need to affirm that the world has finished with my past, and so have I. So if you could say that with me, I'll say it once again, and then you can say it with me. The world has finished with my past, and so have I. Together, the world has finished with my past, and so have I. So today we'll use a 3-step process where you are going to offer up things that no longer hold a healthy or meaningful purpose in your life. And these areas will be personal, be community, and global, just as our affirmations are as we start each service. So I will guide you through each part. You may have more to write in one area than another, but overall you will feel the time allotted will be enough for you to complete your release. And you should be transformed by spirit. You've been given, we'll give you a piece of paper, and at the top you're going to write, I release. And so when you get your piece of paper, you will begin putting down thoughts, feelings, and attitudes, beliefs, and actions that no longer serve you in your personal life. So this is, again, this is in the personal area, in the area of community, or on the global level. And once we do that, and once we basically have our burning bowl ceremony, we're going to write an affirmative letter. You may have received a piece of paper when you came in with an envelope. If you haven't, at the time we start that, we will, you can raise your hands and tell us. And in that letter, you are going to basically turn your attention to your new good that you want to see for your life in the new year. And so we want you to write a letter to yourself affirming 2 or 3 of the joys that you want to achieve in this new year and that you want to see for your life in the new year. Write them as if your new good has already happened. And we talked about this year of basically expressing our gratitude for events and whatever ahead of time rather than after the fact. We're going to basically express our gratitude and expect that that is coming towards us. So we're going to have a couple people pass out the paper. Where did Peter go? Oh.
Real close.
This is the paper for the burning bowl, so none of you have this yet. So take a piece. And we also have, if you need pens and or pencils, we have those too. So again, I'm just going to talk a little bit while we're passing those out. The personal side for this is those thoughts and feelings and attitudes that no longer serve you. Oh, good.
Would you tell them that the iPhone for 2019, they can just pick it up on the back of the table after the service? 'Cause I think
Okay.
confused.
All right. So Suzanne reminds me, so we have 2 things we're doing here. One is we're passing out the paper right now for the burning bowl. And then after we finish that, then we're going to write a letter to ourselves for 2019. So that paper's not, you may have gotten that as you came in, but it's not out yet. So in this area, what we're going to do is we're looking at personal, we're looking at the community, and we're looking global for you to release. So I already kind of talked about the personal life. That's anything that prevents you from living your highest potential. In the community side, that could be the church community, that could be your political community, that could be your community of friends and family. So you want to think about yourself in relation to others in that community area. Jesus told us that the greatest commandments were to love God and to love our neighbor as ourselves. And so there may be people that you feel abandoned by. You may feel like you're not as much of a part of your community as you would like to be. If you're holding on to judgments, criticisms, forgiveness, consider a brother, sister, parent, loved one, child, co-workers, probably lots of those out there, and even more so bosses or employees. And then with the global side, consider that no person is an island. And so how do we relate to the rest of the world or to our nation? Are you holding thoughts and feelings, beliefs and actions that prevent you from contributing to the wholeness of the world? Prejudices, racism, sexism, ageism, violence, hatred, abuses. What are you willing to release in the name of love so that our world can be further healed through you? So when you finish writing, if you can lift your eyes up to mine, I'll know that you're done. And we will have you crumple up the paper, and then we'll collect it, and we'll move on to the next part of our service. Everybody have paper, pencils? You need a pencil? Did you get one? Okay. Anybody else? Pencils? Pens? So put some thought into this. Oh, Sharon, did you get a piece of flash paper? Did you get a piece of paper? Crumple it up. Keep a little piece of it standing out so you can kind of put it into the box.
You don't want to circulate this. They can walk us around.
No, I think if you could just, where's those cups?
They're being washed.
Oh,
I need to use them again. I can just run around with this.
sure, you could do that and ask everybody to pass their stuff to the middle if you want.
Oh, that's good. This is heavy.
So when you're done, if you look down your row and everybody's done, maybe you could pass your little balls of crumpled paper to the middle. Oh, Claudia's bringing red bowls for us. Our red baskets. Perfect. Here, I'll facilitate this.
We'll have open communication with everyone. We'll
Are you
get them
gonna put
all
them
up
in?
here.
Okay. Come on, pass your,
Still right.
oh, still writing, good. Take your time. Right behind you, Peter.
Thanks. You're on the ball.
All right, anybody still writing or?
Oh, yeah.
Some of us have a lot to release. I run a piece.
I see it. I've just been told last year when it blocked up and put them in like that.
Oh, that's a good idea. We'll do that next year. All right, anybody else still have their pieces of paper? Are you done? Just pass it in. Thank you. Anybody else on this side? Anybody else? All right, there you go. All right, so I'm going to read the affirmation of release. And I think, let's see, are we on time? We're pretty much on time. I'm going to read this just for all of us, so if you'll just listen to it in your mind and basically go along with it. Today, I turn away from old habits of limitation and replace them with spiritual truth. God's grace sets me free from mistakes of the past and the results of those mistakes. My life is cleansed, and I'm transformed by the power of Spirit within me. Okay, so Peter, would you like to do the burning bowl ceremony?
You mean light the match?
Exactly. Yeah, drum roll.
Yeah.
Stand back.
I know. I'm making sure there's Oh, I am.
He's much braver than I am. Way to go. All right. So the second part of this, in order to just keep us on time and be sure we get over to our New Year's goodies, is so the next thing we're going to do in terms of the New Year's release and basically fulfilling ourselves and planning for our next year is to write ourselves a letter for 2019. And we are going to basically write them, as I said, as if your good has already happened. And if you didn't get a letter, they're on the back table right near Claudia. And there's envelopes, which you should self-address.
Let's do this over 2 weeks.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I think some people got them. We were doing that while you guys were outside, but that's fine. So basically what you're going to do is write yourself a letter that sets out your expectations for the new year. And then you're going to bring it back here, and we will mail it to you at the end of the year. And that will give you a chance to basically see, what you projected for yourself and an opportunity to do some careful thinking. And I see lots of people are going to get the paper, which is fine. It's fine.
Would you say something?
So the other thing I want to do before we disband is I wanted to read, and I wish we'd printed these out, but that was my fault for not thinking ahead, is to basically read to you this, the wonderful you. And this is the poem that we read. This is the year that my dreams come true. And you notice mine looks a little bit crinkled. I actually have this to read every morning in my bathroom, so I'm trying to memorize it, but I still haven't gotten more than half the way through. So let me read this. You can find this on the internet. As I suggested this year, putting this up somewhere where you read it all the time really has been inspirational to me this year. So, wonderful, wonderful, fortunate you. This is the year that your dreams come true. This is the year that your ships come in. This is the year you can find Christ within. This is the year that you are glad to live. This is the year you have much to give. This is the year that you know the truth. This is the year that you find new youth. This is the year that brings happiness. This is the year that you will live to bless. Wonderful, wonderful, fortunate you. This is the year that your dreams come true. So in closing, Peter back here. Oh, there you are. I guess we're singing peace song, Sharon. Is that right? Do we have any? Oh, offering. Little minor detail. Okay, so we need some ushers.
Thank you, Kathryn. Have a seat. Thank you for getting us through that. It's been fun, and I saved my eyebrows, so it's a big win this year. Last year was the first time I saw that. Is that a first for anybody seeing that kind of burning bowl? Yeah. Yeah, wow. I'm used to the whole fire and the bowl and all that. This was something. So we come to that time where we have opportunity to share with. Yeah.
There's nothing left.
No, there is the stump of a match. Yeah. This is the Houdini burning bowl, backed up with a lot of spirit. Anyhow, we welcome the ushers down the aisle. We take what offerings we may have and bless them with a short, brief prayer that we give in love because we love to give. And this is such an absolute truth. And this is what we have to look forward to this next year. This is what we've been able to do and achieve, I hope personally, on a lot of levels this last year. And it's a wonderful opportunity the next couple days as the new year opens up to know this deep down, that we give and love in any way, whether it's with our time, with our spirit, or with our money to help people where they need that. We give and love because we love to give. Join me. We give and love because we love to give. Again, with gusto. We give and love because we love to give. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you, ushers. We bless this offering. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we have, all that we give and receive. God is the source. We are the channels. Thank you, God. We bless this offering with that hope and spirit coming from this community. Amen. So let's rise and sing. So as we go forward, may the light of God surround us, the love of God enfold us, and the power of God protect us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen.
Thank you.